Good evening, people. Welcome back to the channel. A very exciting into the game week yesterday as Man City threw Arsenal, and also a very better than expected game week in terms of fantasy Premier League. Mr. Habib, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, good in yourself, Rushdi. It was nice to have a break on a
Yeah,
Tuesday. The
yeah.
public holiday did us all a bit of good.
Public holiday.
After
Yeah.
that,
Did
yeah,
you
after that
did you
stressful
bright today?
Sunday.
Did you bright today?
Um, no, the weather wasn't too great. I
Yeah,
decided let's rather just go out for the day. What happened on your side?
yeah. We decided to go in for the day because usually we have to go out, so we just relax.
With the toddlers and the children, it's difficult to
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
at
yeah.
home though. So to
Yeah,
keep
but
them
no, but
entertained,
we
is
were
a tough one.
just playing outside, and so
Mm,
the day actually it goes very quickly.
yeah.
But yeah, so before we discuss fantasy, let's go back into reality. What are your thoughts on? Let's start with the biggest game of the weekend,
Mm.
the draw at the Etihad. What were your thoughts on the game?
Sure, that game was exhausting. Eh? It was just so many things happening, right from the
Yeah,
start. I mean, Ireland scored a brilliant goal. That finish of his, he just
yeah,
completely
brilliant.
he wrong-footed Raya completely because he shaped
Yeah,
to open. He opened up his
go
body.
far
Then
post.
and
Yeah,
then he went near post with the outside of his left foot.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
just the mark of a lethal finisher of the best striker in
yeah.
the world.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I thought
His
there was
finisher.
some the first Arsenal goal. I think City. I kind of I sympathise with City a little bit, but Walker shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Also,
Yeah,
I don't think that Martinelli, even though he had the space, he didn't. He didn't put like a killer cross into the box. Calafiore still
yeah.
had so much to do
To do.
with
Yeah,
with that finish. So,
yeah.
I mean, would it have really made a difference if Walker had to get to be 5 yards back, or if he had an extra couple of seconds? I'm not too sure. I do sympathize a little bit, but it's not that much.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
different if he was still running back, but he turned around and everything. He was like kind of set, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Mm, um, the Trossard red card. These again, and now there again, I sympathise with Arsenal kinda because to have 1 second between the whistle blowing and then kicking the ball away, it's a bit ridiculous. But at the end of the day, he knew it was a foul on I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
Bernardo
yeah,
Silva.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He just
to
barged
go
into
out,
him. Yeah,
especially after what happened to Declan Rice a couple of weeks ago, to
yeah,
go and kick the ball away was it's just silly, man. It's so
yeah.
unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, the second half was something else. And for all City's position, they didn't look like they were going to score.
Yeah.
They looked like they just were out of ideas. And what baffled me was so few times did they go to the wing. They were just passing it around in
Coming
front
back.
of the box. Yeah, with Diaz and Akanji
Oh my
and
God, he
Walker.
is also frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, go wide, put the ball into the box. Doku could have done
Yeah,
something, but then when Grealish came on, he changed it up. He
yeah,
changed the game a bit. But I
yeah.
mean, what a game! And you can kind of see now there's a bit of needle between the two
It's
teams.
a tension. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that
But
late 90s Arsenal and United rivalry.
yeah, but it was a bit surprising with Pepe. Firstly, I think he took too long to make changes
Mm,
because you
yeah.
could see like from the first 10 minutes of the second half, or what Arsenal's
Yes.
intention
Yes.
was. And he said after the game that if Arsenal were 10, 11, or 12 men, then the game plan for the second half was still going to be the same,
Mm,
having gone into the break with the lead.
mm,
So I think he took too long to make changes. And
mm.
Kyle Walker, and who was playing left back for City?
Did Cavadiol play?
Yes, yes, Cavadiel, yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't going on the outside.
Yes.
Every time Bernardo still stood on the one wing, Doku stood on the other side. Doku still sometimes he went, but most of the times he went wide. Then he just passed the ball back to
Yeah.
Walker, back to
It was
Cavadiel.
it was it
I
was
don't know why
super
they never made
frustrating.
overlapping runs, try to do something
Yes.
different. And I think Bernardo Silva should have come to the center on the outside of the box because he's someone that can still, he has the
Mm,
creativity. On the
mm,
wing, in that situation, he's quite wasted because he's always going to come back onto his left foot.
mm,
And if you don't have Kyle Walker overlapping him, then it's very predictable. And Arsenal just waiting for him to pass or just cross the ball to nobody. It's only really Haaland that has a physical element in the box. So Arsenal were quite comfortable.
yeah.
It looked
But do
like it.
you think that? City could have taken one of their centre backs off. I've been hearing that also quite a bit. City could have taken one of the centre backs off because Arsenal were no threat on the counter.
I don't know how fit Stones was, but he could have come on much earlier for DS.
Yeah, and it was, yeah, just City were just they were. I thought they were poor. Like they got their goal in
Very
the end, but
poor.
I thought they were extremely poor in that second
They
half.
were
But
fortunate
Arsenal
to
did.
get the goal also.
Yeah, they were lucky to get that ball. And I also heard something else from Micah Richards and Gary Lineker. They were saying that instead of putting Diaz and Walker on the edge of the box, why not let them be in the box, and then you have a more creative midfielder on the edge of the
On the
box, one that
outside,
can,
yeah,
yeah, one that can
exactly.
take a shot, that can put a ball through,
Yeah,
because they didn't know what to do, the centre backs, and that's
yeah,
understandable.
yeah. Kovacic can, but
Mm,
he took like two shots, but it just went into the stand. But they needed another option because now there's only Kovacic that's shooting. If they
mm,
had maybe Bernardo and Kovacic, then then
yeah,
it's two people you need to watch out for.
yeah,
So I don't know what City were very disappointing that second. It was so
mm,
frustrating to watch because I wanted if they I actually wanted a draw, so that's why.
mm,
So the whole second half basically I was supporting City because I wanted a
mm,
draw, and that was my prediction also. I actually thought it would be 1-1, I think.
yeah.
So
And
I'm happy with the point in the end.
yeah, it was. I enjoyed the game. It was, but it just says
Yeah.
it made me age a few years. That game, just
Yeah,
watching it was
but the Trossard incident, I don't really have much sympathy because they know how
yeah,
the
that's the
rules
thing.
are nowadays. So rather contest the rule with the FA or someone, but while it is in place, you know that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
wasn't
It's
the
just
only player booked this weekend for kicking the ball away as well.
yeah, it's just there's still other inconsistencies as well. I know they were talking about Doku. That is
Yeah,
a
they
bit
were.
different for me,
Yeah.
but it's just
But
they
every
need
rule
to
has
apply consistency.
inconsistencies
Mm. Yeah, the
because it's
handball rule,
different
for
refs.
instance.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know why they still can't get involved on second yellow cards. I think that is a very
Mm.
poor rule.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
if someone didn't touch someone and the player went down and you give a second yellow, now all of a sudden
yeah.
you can't say anything because of the rule says you can't. I think that is
You know,
an
or
unnecessary
if you get a yellow card
restriction.
for, or if you get a yellow card for a dive, apparently you can't reverse it now.
Yeah, that's
That's
that's that's
it's stupid.
ridiculous. And
But I mean, we'll be
it
having
doesn't
these
and it,
rules for
yeah,
years.
whole season. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was a good game. So that was 2-2. And actually, for me, the biggest moment of the game was Rodri's injury
yeah.
because if he was on in the second half of the edge of the box, I think they would have scored much earlier and
Mm.
probably gone on to win the game because he's a clutch moment player.
I think he's out for the whole season, basically. I mean, that's
I don't know if it's
a massive loss.
confirmed because
Mm.
I saw he's still going for scans, but I saw
Mm.
some of the reports coming out that he is out.
Yeah.
But he definitely won't be back like in the short, like the next
Mm-mm.
2 months probably. So
And it's
very
ironic though. The one guy who's been complaining about the amount of
scheduling.
games, yeah, the
Yeah.
amount of games that the players have to go through.
Now
It's
he's the
yeah,
one
it's
who has
really
a break.
ironic. But look, I mean, there are too many games. It's far too many games, and it's
Yeah,
taking its
yeah.
toll now on him because there was no
But that's
contact. It was
a
just the way he landed or the way he planted
yeah.
his foot.
It was just unfortunate.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a too many games issue. It's just unlucky.
Mm.
But I think that's a big turning point in in not the title race. I don't think the race has started yet, but it could be towards the end of the season because Rodri comes up clutch a lot for City, especially
Mm.
because of the small teams. Also, they also park the bus at the Etihad in at their
Yeah.
place. So, and it's often his runs or his ability on the ball helps City out.
Mm.
So yeah, for me, I asked you on Thursday if Arsenal win, are they the favourites? And then you said
Mm.
no, it was still City. But for me personally, because Rodri is injured
Mm.
and Arsenal got that point in the manner which they got the point, I
Mm.
put them slight favourites ahead of City, mainly because of the Rodri loss. Because
Yeah.
Odegaard is coming back in the next few weeks, so they will be back
Mm.
to full strength soon. So, and City has
Yeah.
to
That.
still go to Arsenal in the second half of the season.
Yeah. That Rodri injury is gonna change things. I think not in
Yeah,
terms of. I still think City are slight favourites, but
yeah,
I think
yeah. It's
Arsenal
not a
do have
big
a much
difference.
better shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And I think
also,
it opens the door slightly for Liverpool as well.
mm,
So
but
slightly.
I was looking at Arsenal's away games that they've played. They've played
Yeah, that's a good
Villa,
point.
Spurs, and
Also,
City
City.
now, and they haven't lost
Yeah,
any of them. And they played Brighton at home, so they've had a really
yeah,
tough start. And if you look at
Yeah,
the amount of points, considering the teams they've played, it's a really good start, I must say.
yeah.
And
No, it's
I've
very
been
excellent.
I mean they'll probably go on a run now from here because I
Yeah,
haven't looked really at the next 5 or 6 fixtures, but I would assume it's nowhere near as difficult
yeah,
as the games that they've played already.
yeah. I'll bring up the fixtures when we get to
Mm,
the weekend's fixtures because Gabriel is someone I wanted to speak about.
yeah.
Just quickly, so one of the other games of the weekend. Let's go to your game. I think it
Mm,
was Saturday night, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, yeah, Saturday late kickoff. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on the game?
It was frustrating. Not the
Yeah,
performance itself. I don't know if you
mm.
saw the highlights, but the amount of chances that were missed.
No, I watched the
Um,
game. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
most of
think
the
it's
game. Yeah,
yeah, I think especially in the first half, United were really good.
yeah,
And I think I saw the stats. They've missed the most big chances out in the whole Premier League. I think it's 17 big chances missed
yeah.
this whole season. I think
The
Villa was
season. Yeah,
next with was next with 12. And then
yeah.
okay, XG. I don't XG is a thing. It's not really something I pay much
It's
attention
not
to.
always so black and white.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they do have the fourth highest XG in the league. But and again, they were way too wasteful. And at some point I was thinking I wouldn't be surprised if Palace score a goal here. And I think Eze had a great chance.
two
Um,
chances
yeah, yeah, and yes, and
in
then
the
Onana
game.
with a double save as well.
Brilliant save.
So I mean, they could have lost the game. They could have they honestly could
Yeah,
have lost the game. But at that point, they should have been out of sight. They should have been 2 or 3
yeah,
nil ahead.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
that's the one.
But I think that you should have been 3-0 up at halftime.
Yeah,
I think Palace
yeah,
ball retention in the first half was absolutely ridiculous. They
yeah. I
like
thought it was poor.
Mateta was what was Mateta doing up front?
Nah,
Like he looked like
they were poor.
he looked like he was running in mud or something. I don't know what was up with him. But and I wasn't surprised that he got hooked at halftime. I don't
But
know what was he doing. He
but
looked so slow and lethargic.
do you think that Eriksen brings more balance to the midfield? He might not be as dynamic as a Bruno, but I think he just calms the game a bit down. Whereas Bruno gets the
Yeah,
ball and he just wants to make a progressive
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, they said, you see, I remember last week telling you that Trent had 30, 34, 31 misplaced passes against
Yes.
Forest.
Mm.
And so Bruno had the same amount in a team that has 70% possession. So that's very bad.
Yeah.
It was one of his worst games with the
Yes. Yes.
ball
Yes.
for me
Yeah. He had a poor
personally.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a really poor
And
game.
that outside of the boot shot was unlucky, but I don't think it was really necessary. I think maybe he could have taken a touch and then slotted
Mm.
in,
Yeah.
but I won't criticize him too much for that because it just went past the post. So.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I think Ericsson. I was sitting my match reaction that I was surprised that he started 3 games
Mm.
in a row. I thought that one of the Ugarte or Casemiro would come in for the Palace game,
Mm.
especially after what happened last year at Palace.
Yeah.
So it was quite a brave decision. But Ericsson is one of those players, like Perlo was at the end of his career, where what he lacks in physical attributes, he makes up with his brain and footballing
Yeah.
intelligence.
No, he's a smart player. Eh?
So yeah, so that's so as long as you have balance around him, as
Mm.
long as you have the ball as well, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So I think quite a few of the chances came from his passing and quick thinking in the middle.
Yeah.
And
I think even
Palace, you can see they weren't really applying that much pressure to him as well in the
mm,
middle.
yeah, I think
Uh,
even when he was at Spurs, he was never the quickest player, so he always knew
yeah,
how
yeah,
to use his brain properly
yeah,
and use that to his
exactly.
advantage. And I
Yeah,
mean, I think he's only 32 or something now. He's not that old, but he's been
yeah.
around for donkey's years.
I don't know. In my mind, he's like 36, but
Yeah,
maybe it's just his hair or something.
but I mean, yeah, I mean, I still think it's encouraging so far.
Mm,
After especially after the Liverpool defeat.
yeah,
Again, signs of progression, not the result that they wanted, but I think, as a United fan of so long who's been used to success for majority of the time, we need to be
yeah.
patient. It's progress. We need to see slow progress. Things are not going to turn around overnight.
Yeah, but also I think your defensive structure is better. You're
Yeah.
conceding less shots,
Yeah.
but you're still conceding like clear opportunities. Like that too is a
Yes.
chances. Like nobody was around him. Like the
Yeah.
midfield was. I don't know who was
Yeah.
supposed to be tracking him.
You still get that lapse in concentration.
Yeah, in concentration is like
Yeah.
because for both chances, like the first one, he should have taken a touch and put it in, and the other
Yeah.
one, he should have gone far post. The whole
Mm.
side of the goal was open.
Yeah.
But on another day, you should have also scored. So it kind of, I don't
Yeah.
know, balanced out in a way.
Swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm enjoying the Mazraoui and Dallo fullback
yeah.
combination at this time.
Mazraoui settled in quite well. I saw Malassia's back in training. Surprise,
Yeah.
surprise.
Look, that bag of biscuits. Luke Shaw is
Yeah.
still nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Pack of Mari biscuits. That.
Oh, the one, sorry, contentious point of the game. Do you think this was a red card?
Oh, look, I think he was super lucky not to make contact. Eh?
Yeah,
It's a ridiculous tackle, man. I mean,
it was so random.
what are you hoping to accomplish from that? It's 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 not even an effective tackle in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
jumping onto the ball, what does it actually do? Like instead of
that's
just stretching
crazy.
out your leg, you're not making yourself bigger. You're not extending your appendages.
Yeah,
What does it actually do?
I don't know.
You're
I don't
just
know
trying to
what went
hurt
through his mind.
someone, but
But
which is great.
like you said earlier, the Arsenal City game, you could see there was needle. This
Yeah,
wasn't that kind of game. It wasn't like
yeah,
so fast. So that if you did that in the Arsenal game, you can still like
yeah.
see where it comes from. But this was so random. It wasn't like nowhere
I
close to that kind of. And he
I
just
just
randomly
didn't
just jumped.
understand this. And he's not really someone who okay, he's a tough player, he's a tough defender, but he's not really
Yeah,
someone who will go in two-footed. I
yeah.
didn't
He has
expect
his
that from
rationale, but
he,
it's the first time I've
yeah.
seen him do that kind of.
No,
That,
it's such a stupid tackle, and he's lucky he didn't make any contact.
I think if he landed on his foot properly, he would have been sent off, and
Yeah,
he couldn't really complain. Like,
deservedly so.
yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
that was.
silly man.
I think the rest of the game was fairly like, yeah, there weren't
And
really
that
penalty appeals. I think the handball that
now,
you appealed, I don't think it was a handball
yeah,
because
it would have been
because it
soft.
took a touch before. Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been very soft.
yeah. And then the rest of the weekend's games were. I thought to start the weekend, I thought Chelsea's game was. West Ham were very. They were almost like Palace in a way. Uh,
Mm.
they were so. I don't know what's it, guys. The DM's name. Let me see if I
Suche.
can find his. Alvarez. Alvarez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was at fault for two of the goals. Just by his positional play was so bad,
Mm.
and he let him down. So I don't know. West Ham were very. But for Chelsea, it's a big win
Mm.
away from. So they actually started the season now quite well. I think they
Yeah.
third now or fourth.
So I mean, I've been very unsure about Chelsea, but I mean, I think they're starting to
Mm,
change my opinion a bit.
yeah,
I mean, you can't go on this run and then still be so uncertain about them. So, I mean, I've
yeah.
been quietly impressed with the run that Chelsea have been on. I haven't
Mm,
really watched them to be honest. It's not one of the teams that obviously I will
yeah.
look to watch. But I mean, based on articles that I've read, many pundits are very impressed with what they're seeing. But again, it's still that little bit of uncertainty. Is it just a run that they've gone on, and what happens when they do lose a game?
Yeah,
Because you know with Chelsea, the one if they lose that first one, they could just go on
yeah,
a run of losses and draws.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that we'll see what happens when they lose that first game.
yeah. I
Well, not
think
that
they're
first
very
game, but the next
impressive.
game.
Yeah, I think they're very impressive going forward. They're
Mm,
still a bit iffy at the back. I don't know if you saw the penalty incident where Fofana pulled
yeah.
the winger. I think that should have been a penalty. It could have
Mm,
changed the momentum of the game because
yeah.
would have been 2-1 at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise the attackers, especially the counter attack, is very good. And I think now there was a lot of doubts whether Jackson will start again or Nkunku. I think the starting 11 is starting to pick themselves. It seems like he wants
Yeah.
Sancho on the one side
Mm,
and bring on Neto for impact,
yeah.
and then Nkunku and will come on for Jackson at the moment. Because,
It's a lot of
but
money spent on impact players,
yeah,
eh?
yeah, but they have the luxury, and obviously they have the Conference League again
Mm.
and the League Cup to focus on. So
I
I'm sure all
watched
the
the
players will come in
Newcastle
handy.
Fulham game. I watched the Newcastle Fulham game, but for Newcastle were poor.
Yeah,
They were dreadful.
they haven't been that great despite the
No, they
wins this
haven't.
season. Yeah.
They were so poor in that game,
Mm.
and in that third goal that they conceded, just basically summed it up.
Yeah.
where Bruno
Even the
just
even the Smith Rowe goal was a poor mistake from next to
yeah,
goal
I
as
think the
well.
goalkeeper
Yeah.
could have done a bit better. You should have done better there.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have City next week, so they need to pull up their socks, as they say.
Yeah, I mean there can be no excuses this year. There's no European football. There's no distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have many injuries now, so they've got to get going.
Yeah. And then your manager that you were worried about, Mr. Sean Dyke, got his
Oh,
first point of the season.
he got his first point of the season. Yes. Yeah. Everton. I still think they in a spot of bother. Um, they
For the
need they,
third game in a row, they gave away a lead again.
yeah, but I just look at their team and I'm like, besides maybe Brandthwaite, there's just nothing there that tells me, you know what, this is a they have some quality Premier League players, and it's sad because Everton are such a Premier League institution.
Yeah.
And they really don't need this season to be the one that where they get relegated. You cannot be having your first game in a new stadium in the championship.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, if they do go down, this is because of years of mismanagement and
Yeah.
failed and just horrible transfer business. Um,
Transfers was bad.
yeah, but I think they'll survive in the end, but they need to start picking up proper points now.
Yeah. I think when we look at the fixtures, I think they do have a good. They have three of the next four at home.
Mm,
And I have seen some encouraging signs in terms of the attacking play. I thought against Aston Villa they were very good,
mm.
and they were unlucky to lose that game. But against Leicester they weren't as good, but they were still okay.
But do you think
So
it's a problem when you
mm,
perform so well and you still lose?
a problem in terms of what?
Like, would you
Like
rather would you rather play well and lose or play badly and lose? Because if
it
you play
depends.
badly and lose, and you know there's a room for improvement. But if you're playing well and you're losing, then what more do you still have to give?
No, but it's not like they're playing to like a prime Barcelona level.
Mm. But
They're
they don't
still
have the
playing.
capability though.
Yeah, but I don't think they're playing as well as they can. I
Mm,
think they're better than what they're showing, and I do think that I think performances is something that you can take to the next game
mm,
because like within not within like United sometimes last season, sometimes you win the game but you know you've played badly,
mm,
right? So your players on the pitch when they know that they performed badly, they know they were outclassed by this
mm,
team, even though they got the result. So
mm,
they can't really take that performance into the next game. It's difficult. You can't just take a result because you have to play the game. You know what I mean?
mm.
So it's easier to take a performance into the next game. So
Yeah.
that's why I think from the beginning of the season to now they have improved a bit, even though they're not getting the results.
Mm.
But I think they will get the results soon.
Okay. I mean, yeah,
So we'll just have to see.
he's a specialist in saving teams from
Yeah,
relegation. He's done it here time and
yeah,
time again with Burnley as well.
yeah. He's the modern day Sam Allardyce there.
He'll get the England job as well and he'll get fired after one game.
I can't believe you waited so long to get such opportunity and then
And then
you
he just got
messed
on
it
the
up.
world's
Oh my god.
nonsense.
And he spoke so many times, like when he was at Bolton, he was like, "Yeah, if he was in charge of a big team, then he would also get the results that they get, that those
Yeah,
managers get." And like,
yeah.
and then he got the opportunity with England, and then just one game, and then or one
Yeah,
month,
and then
and then he was gone.
and then he got caught out. Hey, by that
Yeah,
undercover journalist.
yeah.
Silly guy. Hey.
And then the other games, Liverpool. Uh,
Yeah, you can
It
talk about
wasn't.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I think 3-0 flattered us. I don't think it was a 3-0 game.
Mm,
It was probably more of a 4-2 game than a 3-0 game because I
mm,
thought Bournemouth actually played very well. They just lacked that potency in the
mm.
final third. Yeah, but otherwise we were clinical once again.
That's what you
Um,
want.
Yeah, exactly. Luis
I
Diaz,
wish
I
United were
think.
like that.
Yeah, I think Luis Diaz control for the first goal was a world class touch from him. Like to
Mm,
take it on his thigh from that height, because you had to get it perfect to get it around the keeper and not
mm,
could have gone, like slightly backwards and then he doesn't get the chance to shoot that goal. So I thought that was a brilliant touch. But yeah, everyone played back to how they were playing before the Forest game.
mm,
I think they just like got to kick up their backside. before the Milan game, and they
Mm.
played quite well in that game, and then they carried it over to the weekend. So I was not surprised to see Slot not ringing the changes. So I
Mm.
actually called him to put the same players on and let them like almost like correct the wrongs of the previous week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think Keller was a forced change, and Jota came in. Sorry, Jota came out for Nunes. That was the only two
Mm.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah, another clean sheet.
Um,
Good stuff from
and
Liverpool.
yeah,
Was a full clean
yeah.
sheet
That's
out of the
one
5
one
games,
goal
right?
conceded, 4 out of the 5. Yeah,
Sure.
and yeah, and we have Wolves next, and we have two away games, Wolves and Palace next. So there's a potential to keep at least one of
Yeah,
those games another clean
yeah, yeah,
sheet.
yeah. Yeah.
Because Palace, I think Wolves are a better attacking unit than Palace at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about. Is there anything else on the past weekend you want to touch on?
No, I think we've been pretty comprehensive this week.
Spurs got a good win.
Yes. Brentford
Yeah,
are a tough team and they got the job done. Spurs needed
yeah,
that actually.
and they went down early in the first minute or
Again,
first few
Brentford like to
seconds.
score in the first minute, it seems.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on to the next game week. So we both scored actually higher than the average. The average was
Mm-hmm.
58 or 59 this week. I got 64. How much did you get? I can't remember.
66.
66, yeah, so similar. So yeah, I immediately on Sunday, I put in, after the Arsenal game, I put in Mbuemo
Mm-hmm.
from Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Should be here somewhere because I see the next few fixtures as, like, I just see greens and greys for him. So I put him in before his price rises. And with Visa out also,
Visa
they'll
out,
be
yeah.
relying on him to get
Yeah.
attacking returns. Yeah.
Yeah, this week I put Jamie Vardy in.
And put
I
in
needed a
Vardy.
cheap striker. Yeah, well, Visa was my one striker, so I had to sell him, and I didn't have much left after
Yeah.
buying Erling Haaland. So I put
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy in. He's had a decent. I think he scored twice already this season, so he's had a good
Yes,
start to the
yes, yes.
season.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean they're playing Arsenal away this weekend, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see about that.
Yeah. And then another, sorry, so these are some of the price changes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Gabriel again, 2 weeks in a row.
Mm,
So a lot of people were waiting for, Arsenal had back-to-back away games to Spurs and City.
yeah,
But now it looks like everybody got the confirmation that they need to bring in some Arsenal defenders.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
I might look at the color Fiore because I think he's the cheap. He's 5.5.
yeah, there's Gabriel from that corner just running, steaming towards the far post. He's so
Yeah.
dangerous there. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, he did it twice against City. Eh? The first one, he should have actually scored
Yeah,
as
he did
well.
over. Yeah, he did over.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he should have
remember.
scored that one. So
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was when
City.
Docker was marking him for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
know. Who
I
thought
don't
that
know.
was a good idea?
I don't know what they were thinking there. But I mean, the guy's clearly a threat. From
Yeah,
set pieces, he hangs back there on the just
it's
basically on the
penalty
D,
spot.
like
Yeah,
yeah, on the
yeah,
just behind the penalty spot, and then he
yeah,
just charges in. I
yeah,
don't even know what Walker was doing for that second
yeah.
goal. Wow, he was
He
tapping
was
him on the
tapping.
side there. I don't know what nonsense this guy was catching on. Clearly it didn't work. But yeah, I mean, is it something that's going to? Are they going to start playing? Paying a particular attention now to Gabriel. That's the other thing, and does it now
Yeah,
free up Saliba? But Saliba's is
Saliba.
not
Yeah,
as. But Saliba's not as. It's not the same player as Gabriel. He's
yeah,
more.
yeah. He's a
He's,
bit
he's
less aggressive
yeah. He's not as
than
aggressive.
Gabriel. Yeah,
So yeah,
uh, uh,
but I would assume that Gabriel's going to be a marked man now from corners.
yeah, yeah. And I think all of the price decreases are all not surprising.
Yeah,
Obviously, Odegaard is injured. Porro is actually back. Sorry, not Porro. Pedro
yeah,
is actually back. So I'm a little bit surprised that people took him out so quickly.
mm,
Isak hasn't really been performing um, that greatly. Jota as well lost his place to Nunes. Nunes will probably start again in the weekend after his goal.
yeah.
And the brain is injured out. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne. It's look. I don't think it's a wise choice now for Kevin De Bruyne going forward.
Yeah,
He's had quite a few knocks, and I think City are now. I want to say they're planning for the future without him, but they need to become less dependent on him because
yeah,
he's getting
yeah,
older. He's
yeah,
getting a few injuries.
yeah. You can see
They
it
will need to
visibly
rest him.
on the field as well.
Yeah. But luckily, I mean, they have Phil Foden, so I mean, I think
Yeah,
Phil Foden's future probably. I don't know if it lies more centrally, considering how well Savinho and Doku have played. I would assume
yeah,
that Phil Foden, his future as he get in the next couple of years, he's probably going to play more centrally. Even though I think he's great on the left.
yeah. That's true. But you can see Phil Foden is not yet fully match
Yeah,
fit. They actually
yeah.
playing tonight. You know, they played Sunday and they're playing tonight again. But obviously they're gonna rotate the team
In the Carabao
because
Cup.
they have Carabao Cup. Yeah. So
Okay.
but usually the Sunday team plays on the Wednesday. So I don't know why they
Yeah, that's
playing
strange,
48
eh?
hours apart. Yeah.
That's very strange.
and that's and Rodri must be fuming with that. If he wasn't injured, he would have probably said something before this game about the scheduling.
Uh,
But yeah, so the weekend starts with City, ironically, going to Newcastle.
mhm.
Early kickoff. How do you see Haaland again getting on the score sheet?
Yeah, I think Newcastle haven't been too great, even though they've
Hmm.
only lost one game so far this season.
Yeah,
But I mean, they were so poor against Fulham, as I said. Um,
yeah,
we all thought that Haaland would like really struggle against Arsenal, and then he scored it after 9 minutes.
it's good. Yeah,
Um, so you never know with that guy. I mean, he could score
uh,
twice again. 10 goals in
uh,
5 games.
yeah. I think Newcastle have the ability to get the result, but I don't think they have
Mm,
the ability to keep a clean sheet.
yeah.
So,
But I mean, so it depends on who scores first. To be honest, if
yeah,
Newcastle are going to score first, they're going to sit back. Then City are going to find it
yeah,
difficult because, for me, I think
yeah,
City have a problem against teams that sit very deep. That
yeah,
it's very much a Pep Guardiola thing. He doesn't really have a
yeah.
plan B. He has one way of playing. He's going to stick to it, and that's it.
Uh, yeah, but I think it also depends on the opposition because
Mm,
Doku coming up against a Timber is not the same like Doku coming up against a Leicester City right back or left back. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
So in those situations, Doku might still get past him, and then which could
mm,
create chaos in the middle. Then he can play
mm,
it for somebody to put in. So
mm.
it depends on the opposition as well, not only the tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Barnes is someone whose price went up also, but I don't see him as a reliable
No.
90
No.
minute 90-minute play, but he's been very impactful for them
Yeah.
at the start of the season. Yeah, but I fancy City to get a result there. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for a draw, obviously, but I think City will edge it.
Yeah.
But you never know. That could be, City starting now without Rodri for the first time.
Yeah.
And
And
also
out De Bruyne.
last season Newcastle beat them in one of the games when Rodri was suspended for.
Yeah.
So they do have the capability on their day to beat anybody.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Newcastle don't have the distraction of European football, so
Yeah,
they should be ready to go. They don't have a midweek fixture now. City are playing tonight. I'm assuming
yeah,
City are just going to ring the changes. I haven't looked at their starting
yeah,
lineup. I'm assuming they're going to
yeah,
ring the changes completely. But
yeah.
they don't have the distraction of cup football, of European football this week. So I
Mm,
mean, they should be ready for the game. They should be ready.
yeah,
If that game was tomorrow, they should be ready.
yeah. No, they should be fine. I think Newcastle was supposed to play tonight, and then it got called off
Oh yes, so
because
it was a
because
play
of the
against Wimbledon.
pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
single that
yeah,
appeared.
yeah. So yeah, that favored them for the City game. So then Arsenal, Leicester. So a lot of people's now trying to get Saka back. Gabriel, as we mentioned earlier, Raya. All of a
Mm.
sudden, people, but he's actually injured out. Um,
Yeah, but
and
I don't
obviously,
get that.
Havertz is the one I would try to bring back. I actually wanted to see if Jesus would get a run of games because he's cheaper,
Mm.
and not a lot of people would have him. But I think Havertz, if I can, I'll try to get him in.
People people are counting on Kai Havertz, the man who couldn't complete a single pass against City
Yeah,
in 90 minutes.
yeah. But now at home to Leicester, he
Yeah,
scored in
yeah,
both home games this season.
but do you think it's like so wise? You're gonna put him in against Leicester, and then what happens? You're gonna try to put Arsenal players in against Leicester, and then what happens after that? Okay,
Yeah,
I guess they have a favourable
but
run of fixtures.
they have
Yeah, but then
Leicester and Southampton at home next.
But then what
and
happens? Like,
Bournemouth after that.
but but then City play them. Then you want to put City players again after that. You can't just
Yeah,
chop and change all the time.
yeah. I suppose it
It's
depends who you chopping and changing for and how
mm,
many. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Sometimes
so
you just need to.
if you left out Arsenal defenders because of their fishes, like it's time to bring a defender back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't bring them in
I
for 1 week and
suppose.
then take them out again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously for a set of games. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
it needs to be for like 4 or 5 games,
Yeah.
and then you look at it again.
But Arsenal have shown yesterday in the second half, even though they conceded, they do have the capability of keeping a clean sheet in literally any game.
Yeah, I think Raya's been decent. Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
actually very good this
he's
season.
been very good.
I've had my
Yeah,
doubts about
very
him
good.
as well, but
Yeah,
he's been very good this season. He's made some
yeah,
solid saves and very
yeah.
commanding. Surprisingly, I didn't
Yeah.
expect that of him.
And he has the dog arts mastered
Yeah,
as
yeah, I
well.
hate that. I hate it. They I think they overdid it on
I
Sunday.
Yeah. No, but this is they do. They did it last year as well.
Yeah,
One of their substitutes at the youngster.
yeah.
I
He
don't
got a yellow
know,
card before he came even on.
yeah, because he got the yellow card for going to Raya to tell him to go down.
Yeah,
That is why he got the yellow card.
and then he tried to fight with Haaland.
Yeah, and
And
Alan
then
was like, "Oh,
what
you
did Haaland basically asked him, "Who the f are you?"
who the F are you?" Yeah,
Like he probably saw
this
this
is
guy like,
crazy.
what the hell is who the hell is this guy?
I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal draw City in the Carabao in the next round.
I wouldn't mind that. Gives United a bit
Yeah.
of shot at the trophy.
But but yeah, other games, Chelsea, Brighton.
Mm, that's a good
I
game.
think good game, very good game. Brighton showed their worth when they went to the Emirates. They're not going to be pushovers.
It's Brighton version 1 versus version 2.
Yeah,
All those Brighton players, they all,
yeah,
I think there's quite a few staff members as well.
yeah. Yeah, so Jackson again. A lot of people
Mm,
probably going to put him in this week because I think now it's probably secure that he will get a run of games now,
mm,
despite Nkunku scoring last week.
yeah,
Yeah, and then
Everton need to win this game.
Everton,
They
Everton have
need
to win this game.
I mean,
I put
City
in
look.
Calvert Lewin.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, because I think he's also on penalties,
Mm. I mean,
so I'll put
because
him
Palace
in.
haven't been good, and if Everton struggle in this game against a team that's quite bereft of confidence in Palace and haven't been great themselves, a team, and then then even more questions will be asked of Everton.
I like how you said like for the past two games, if Everton don't win this game,
Yeah,
and the
look,
next
it's
week, if
it's
Everton don't win this game,
guys, it's we're gonna go into November and they're still not gonna win a game, and then
oh
it's
my
and
word,
it's gonna become even then it's gonna be really become desperate.
yeah.
Because
But the
I
next,
don't want Everton to go down, but this is it's going to start
yeah,
getting tough.
but the next few games is so they have Palace at home, Newcastle at home,
Mm,
Ipswich away, and then Fulham at home, and then Southampton away. So
okay,
they do have it's a solid set of fishes where they
but
should
then when do they
pick
start
up
playing the
some
big
points.
teams then? So that means after that they're going to play the big teams.
They have you guys the 1st of December,
Mm, wins Liverpool
the 7th.
exactly. Then there's going to be
Yeah.
City. There's going to be Arsenal.
Yeah. So they listen to this. Are you ready for this fixtures?
Yeah, let's go.
So so the 1st of December is United away. Then the 15th is Liverpool. Then sorry, the 7th is Liverpool. Then the 14th is Arsenal away, and then Chelsea, and then City away.
They're going to be relegated by December then.
So that's literally 4 games in a row against the top four
Mm.
teams currently.
So
That
usually,
is
let's be
that
honest,
is a
they need to be in a
so they
decent
need
position before then.
so they need to win now. Yeah,
Yeah, because they
yeah.
haven't. Okay, they've had some tough games like Spurs and Villa, but they haven't
And
played any
Villa,
of the
yeah,
top sides.
yeah,
They've lost at home to Bournemouth as well.
yeah,
You need to remember that
yeah,
even the Leicester game, it's a winnable game. It's
yeah.
against a newly promoted team who haven't been in great form, and they got a draw only.
And they had the lead as well in
Yeah,
the game.
they need to be out of the relegation zone by the end of November.
Yeah,
If they are still in the relegation zone,
yeah.
coming
Then
into
they're in
that
deep
Christmas
trouble.
period, then they're in
Then they're
trouble.
in
They are in trouble.
big trouble. Big trouble. We might see a managerial change
Mm.
if that is the case.
I hope not, because Sean Dyche is a decent manager. He knows what he's doing. But the
Yeah,
club has just been so toxic for the last few years.
yeah.
Like you can't
Yeah,
get
I
around
agree.
that.
Yeah.
It's just been a mess. But I've been venting a lot about Everton, I must say, for a club that I don't support.
Yeah. No, but it's very. But I think they'll pick up form well. We'll just have to wait and see.
Mm.
And then as far as Fulham, Liverpool got the Wolves in a late kickoff. I think it'll be one of those games probably. If I'm not mistaken, Wolves is bottom or
Are they
second. Let me
bottom?
just check. Let me just check real quickly.
I did not know that.
This is them log now. They're second bottom.
Oh, so they have one of
So
the
they
teams with
are
one
there.
point.
Yeah. But they also, they're a team that they do create the opportunities in the game. But I think over the course of 90 minutes, I think Liverpool should
Mm.
have the edge.
But I mean, they've had a tough run of fixtures, eh? They've had Aston Villa,
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
had
Tough games.
Newcastle. Let me just check who else they play. I think did they not play Chelsea as well? Let me just see from the
Yes,
start
yes,
of the
that is the
season.
game they lost six. Was it 6-2?
And they played
I think
Arsenal.
it
So
was
they've
that
played,
game. And
yeah. So they've
Arsenal. Yeah,
played
they had a
Arsenal.
tough
They've played
run.
Chelsea. Yeah, they played
Yeah.
Forest. They played Newcastle, and they played Villa. So I mean, it's not. But I think we spoke about this that they have one of the toughest runs of. And in our first episode, they have
Yeah. Yes, yes,
quite a
yes,
tough
yes,
run.
yes, yes.
So they're playing
Yeah.
Liverpool, and then I see after that it's Brentford. Let me just go
Yeah.
down.
After that, it
Brent.
eases
Okay.
up
Oh, then they're playing
slightly.
City. They're playing
But
City.
I mean, City will be one of the last, like,
Yeah, and then I think after that,
tough
I
games.
see at the end of October, then it gets easier. Then they're playing Palace,
Yeah.
Southampton, Fulham,
Yeah.
Bournemouth,
Fulham,
Everton, West
Bournemouth.
Ham,
Yeah.
Ipswich, Leicester.
Ipswich. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm not too concerned about them, to be honest. They've
Yeah.
had a tough run of fixtures. There's no need
I
for
think
them to panic.
eventually, I think eventually the teams just above them, like the Southamptons and Ipswich, will fall below them
Yeah.
as the season plays on.
Mm,
Yeah, and then Sunday, Ipswich, Leif Davis, yeah, he couldn't keep a clean sheet against Southampton. Oh,
yeah. I think
and last week,
they conceded quite late, right? Well, not
no, they
late,
conceded
but
early. No, they conceded
they
early.
conceded. Oh,
They
it
conceded
was the
early.
other way
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Okay,
the other way around. Yeah, yeah, they
okay,
scored late. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then the game
Villa
of the
should pick that up.
weekend. Yeah, yeah, that should be straightforward. Game of the weekend: United vs Spurs. How do you
Yeah,
see that?
so Spurs, Spurs are not going to sit back, so Spurs are going to go for it.
Yeah,
United will definitely get
it's
opportunities.
just yeah,
The question is, are they going to put it away?
yeah,
So that's I think United will United do create chances. To be honest, they create
yeah,
quite decent chances.
yeah.
Um, but
I think
it's
it's
just
a
a
good
question
game for
marks over the finishing.
Xerxes. I think it's a good game for Xerxes
Mm,
to do his link up and open up because
yeah,
Spurs can actually be opened up quite easily
yeah,
if they aren't told to sit
mm,
back and defend,
yeah,
which they're probably not gonna be
yeah.
told to do.
Yeah, so I think United. I think United will edge that game, but I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if they draw it, just because of how bad they are in front of goal.
yeah. I don't think you'll keep a clean sheet this time, but I do think you'll
Mm,
win.
yeah, and
But
if
it's
they
also
do,
one of the games that can go either way because
mm,
Spurs on the
and
day, they can
you know,
score
yeah, you know
quite
what?
a
If
lot.
United do win that game, it's not the best start in the world, but I mean, after 6 games, it wouldn't be too bad if you can beat Spurs and you've already played Spurs, you've played Liverpool, and you've played Brighton.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be the worst
yeah,
start in the world, considering the place that United are in at the
yeah.
moment. Not at the moment, but what happened last season.
And next week you have Villa away, so
Yeah,
it's important to get the win this
yeah.
week before the game.
Mm.
And in the last game, Bournemouth or Southampton, I think.
Uh, I don't comment on these games, Rushdie. I
Yeah,
leave that
but
to you.
in terms
Mm.
of fantasy, I think Semenyo
Yeah.
is a hot pick for this game.
Mm.
Sometimes, usually, when there's a Monday night game, I always try to have a player that's involved in the game, but I
Like
don't
a
think I'll
wild
be able
card
to.
almost. You can maybe
Yeah,
pick up those 10
like just
points
in case
and swing
my
things.
weekend doesn't go that well, I still have
Mm.
that lifeline, that one player that's playing the Monday night that can get a 12
Yeah.
pointer or something, or clean sheet or something.
I'll
So
have
yeah,
to
I
I'll have
think
to look at my players.
Clivert, Semenyo, and Evan
Mm.
Nielsen
Yeah.
are quite good picks for this game,
Yeah.
because Bournemouth are playing actually quite well. They're not like amazing, but
Mm.
they play until the end. They have a quite attacking stance and philosophy this season.
Yeah.
So I'll look at I'll see if I can bring some in, because he's always someone, even against us, he's the one who scored the offside goal,
Yeah.
and he's the one who forced Keller into a save also in a one-on-one, semi
Mm.
one-on-one situation.
Mm.
So he'll be someone, and I see his price already went up this season. He's 5.6 now.
Okay. So I wanted to
Yeah.
ask a question on that the new keeper that you guys have bought from Valencia. Is he
Mm.
going to be a replacement for Allison? Do you guys expect Allison to go to Saudi at some point? Because you don't pay 40
Yes.
million euros for a
Yeah.
goalkeeper to be a backup.
Yeah. Wasn't it 35 million euros? But
Yeah, somewhere around
some,
there. But I mean, it's a lot of money for a
yeah.
goalkeeper.
No, I don't think so. I think Allison has 2 years. So what I think
Mm,
will be, Allison has 2 years left now.
mm.
So next season, so we will sell Keller, and then I don't know how do you say his man,
I
Mashvili
have
will
no
be
idea.
the
That's why I didn't say his name.
he will be the backup to Allison next season,
Mm,
just to
mm.
learn the ropes, stay under
Yeah,
him. But and he will obviously get his, because Allison's always picking up injuries. He's injured now again,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then so he'll be one season probably under his wing, so to speak, and then Allison will move on, and then he will be the number one. And then obviously we'll have
Mm,
to bring someone else to be backup to
yeah.
him again after that. So I think it was just for succession planning. I think
Okay.
it's quite a smart move, because goalkeepers is
Yeah,
a
definitely.
very difficult position to get
Especially
right,
in the Premier League where the game is so fast
especially in the
paced and so
Premier League.
physical. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. And did you see who Bournemouth's keeper was on Saturday?
No, who was it?
Keeper.
Oh yes, he went there on loan from Chelsea.
Yeah, a few seasons ago he was a world record signing. Now
Last
he's
year he was
playing for
playing for Real
Bournemouth.
Madrid.
Yeah, now he's playing for Bournemouth. It's crazy. How
I fall
quickly
from
the thing
grace of because
can
he's too
change.
bloody arrogant. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I mean, he picked up a Champions League, as they all
Yeah,
do in Madrid these days.
fair enough.
But yeah, that's it in terms of the fixtures. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah, I think this game week is a lot more straightforward
Yeah,
than
and the
last week's.
last one. Yeah,
I was actually surprised the average was so high. I think the average
yeah.
has been very high this season.
I think on Saturday night, I think the average was 38 or
Mm,
39. It was in the
mm,
high 30s.
mm,
So Sunday, I think Gabriel and Haaland's points, just
mm,
I think because a lot of people have him,
mm,
that would have pushed up the average quite a bit.
mm. Because
And
I
obviously
was looking
Calafiori scored.
I was looking at my average points for the week. It's like low 60s, but I'm only
Yeah,
ranked like 3 million in the world. Like, and you're scoring on average more than 60 points per game week, which is a lot.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
lot. Yeah.
like, which shows that managers are getting decent
Mm,
points every week. The average is quite high this season.
yeah. So the average for this week was 58, and the highest point
Mm.
scorer was 131 points. Somebody decided to captain Luis Diaz. So kudos to that person.
You get one of those. You have a one in
Always,
11 million shot. It's something. Someone's gonna get
always.
it right. Someone's
Yeah,
gonna get it right. And,
Sancho will score a trick on Saturday, and somebody will have Sancho
mm,
captain.
yeah, or
It's
triple
always
captain
those.
or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think that's it for today's show. Quite longer than expected.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
blame City
anyway,
and Arsenal.
yeah. But it was a good game, a good chat,
Yeah,
some good drama. I'm looking forward to the game at the Emirates
yeah.
later in the season. So
There was just one
we'll
other
see
thing
what
I wanted
happens
to
there.
add regarding that game.
Mm.
Pundits need to stop saying that the referee spoiled the game, because the referee's job is not there to ensure
Is
that the fans are entertained. That's
yeah,
complete and utter nonsense.
yeah.
The
I
referee needs
was
to enforce.
entertained personally.
Yeah,
Like I was in that game.
it was something different.
Yeah, I don't think the game. I don't know why they say the game, because you can't say now that football is about different styles, and you
Mm,
know what I mean. But and so why can't that kind of game also be enjoyable to people? Because
mm.
I enjoy the game. I don't know why
Yeah,
they
I thought
say
it was
that.
good.
I don't know why they can say the game was spoiled.
Yeah, no, no,
Because if you're
I
saying the
completely
game was
disagree with that.
spoiled, then yeah, I don't agree with that notion.
Like a referee must not send someone off because fans need to be entertained. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah,
They need to
like
apply the law of the game.
yeah, you can have that moments where you give the player final warning when he is on a yellow, like
Mm,
that. But that's still up to the discretion of the ref. He
mm.
shouldn't be giving you a warning just to keep the game entertaining. He should be giving
Yeah,
you a warning just because he wants to give you a warning. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, but these yellow cards is quite frustrating because you see,
Very.
s- like sometimes a tackle like Lissandro's a yellow card,
Mm,
and then the like Henderson comes out like mischief, like how can that just be a yellow? And then
mm,
he gets a yellow card also. So now you're in the same.
mm.
You're giving one for asking a question and one for a two-footed challenge. The same
Yeah,
punishment. Like
yeah,
this is very
yeah.
stupid. But that's a ruling
Mm,
issue. It's
mm.
just stupid. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Please like the video, share with your friends and family, and leave a comment. And click on the this notification bell so that you can see when we are live next time. And yeah, keep well and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.